Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday's video. Today I'm going to show you something new I learned. It has nothing to do with homesteading. It has to do with bringing back something to life. I hope you stay tuned. Well, you know, just about everything in my home has to do with a loved one, memories of a loved ones. I am very blessed to have a lot of heirlooms in my life. I'm very blessed to have a lot of photos of my family and photos of my husband's family. But there's one part of my life, one aspect of my life, where I don't have memories. In fact, I only have a few pictures. What part of my life is that? I am adopted. I was adopted at birth. My mother died 48 hours after I was born due to complications from pregnancy. My mother was 21 years old. I have two other siblings and we are all 2 years apart. But I was adopted out of the family. Being 51 years old, memories are really important to me. Heirlooms are really important to me. I am very sentimental. I am almost too sentimental in life, and that part of my life I've always missed. I've always missed knowing about my birth mother. I know who my birth father is, and I know who my birth siblings are. But to have a mother pass away when you're just newborn, that's something it's a little hard to get used to. As the years have gone by, of course, I've become used to it. But you always wonder things. What was she like? Well, with modern technology, I know now a little more about her. With learning a new computer skill and modern technology, AI has brought my mother back to life. Now, this part of the video may not be for everyone. Some people may get a little bit weirded or freaked out by it all. But to me, it's bringing part of my mother I've never seen back to life. And imagine, all of us can do that to a certain sense. It's a free program called myheritage.com, and you can choose a couple photos for free and you can animate them. But not only are you animating them, you're bringing them back to life. And yes, I will show you in just a moment. But I want to talk a little more about the background. When all you have in life is just a handful of photos, they become very precious to you. When the handful of photos, one of the photos is ripped, then it becomes more precious to you. So one of the photos I got as a baby, as a child, my parents, my adopted parents at the age of 5 told me I was adopted, and they explained to me my mother had passed away. And so I've known my whole life I was adopted. And I had one photo I grew up with, and I held that in my hand and I put it under my pillow, and it was an older picture of my mother. And my mother, when she joined the church, she became plain for a while, and I cherish that, but it's all beat up and it was ripped. But with some technology and my heart to learn new skills, I converted her photo and took out the rip. And not only that, I digitalized the coloring of her to what she would really look like today, and she's animated. And I'm going to share you that in just a moment. I'm really proud of it. Now, some of you may not want to look at that part because it might make you a little feel strange, because taking a photo of a loved one and animating it, and they do come to life, you know, not in real sense, but in every sense that you can imagine, they look like they're living. To me, it's brought me the most amazing sense of peace. And it's just something that I will cherish the rest of my life. I did a video on, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, asking for help about my birth mother and if people could help research. I've had 3 ladies that spent probably 15 hours each researching my heritage, and they gave me big books books with newspaper clippings of my mother's family. They gave me books of just everything I could ever imagine about my mother, her side of the family. And I cherish those books. It takes me back to the 1700s. And so that was such a real blessing to me, because there are quite a few of you that watch my channel that are really into history and do a lot of genealogy work. And thank you everyone for doing that. As you all know, I did a DNA test. And my son and I, we did a DNA test to see where we come from. And I'll try to link that video too, because it was very exciting for me. When you're adopted, you have a lot of questions, because especially if you don't know where you've really come from. Of course I do. I came from a plain background. My dad was plain Mennonite as well. And so I did know some of my history, but on my mother's side, I didn't know anything. I'll just tell you real quick that I was adopted through family, but not through blood. So my adopted mother and it's really hard to explain. Let me get this straight. My adopted mother, her brother married my birth father's sister. I'll say that real slow. My adopted mother, her brother married my birth father's sister. I have an aunt that is my aunt, whether I'm adopted or not. I know it takes a lot. When people ask me, I have to really explain it. So while I was adopted into family, I never met my father until I turned 40 years old. I'm 51. And I never met my siblings until I was 40 years old. And that was quite a highlight, and I really enjoyed meeting them. I do have conversations with them sometimes, and it's just a wonderful world. Adoption is a wonderful thing. And my adopted mother and father, who no longer are with me, they both passed away in November, who are amazing people who, my mother gave me a life. She did not give me life, but she gave me a life. And my father did as well. And so adopted children are loved. You know, we can say we're loved. And so many times we talk about the aspect of feeling rejection when you're adopted. But you can look at it in another way around and say, wow, we were really loved because we were chosen. And we were chosen. My mom chose me. My father, one day out of the blue, came to the door and knocked on it and asked my adopted mom and dad if they would take me in. At that time, he was really struggling with two other children, ages 2 and 1. And his wife had just passed away. And I was here. And he had nothing, he couldn't handle it. And so my parents took me in, and what started out was just taking me in, ended up me being adopted. And I'm very blessed and thankful. And I know there's special rewards in heaven for parents that adopt their children. I've done a lot of videos on tributes to my mother and father, and I just wanted to share this end of the video with you all, because to me, it is something that money can't buy, because I took a photo that was I took a photo that I cried on, I laughed on, I shared that photo in every aspect of my life. Whenever there was something special in my life, that photo came with me. And today, that photo has come back to life. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, and enjoy the photos. Enjoy what I learned just this week. if you like videos like these, take a look. Take a look at all these other videos I have sharing with you my life here on the homestead.